And we are live. Welcome to our debut episode of All In on Becton Sports with your host, Shawn Healy. Shawn is a senior at Becton High School and a member of the football team. He is joined tonight by Becton football coach Jackie Maher. Shawn, welcome.
Hi, how are you doing, Coach Maher?
Very good, Shawn. Welcome to the big time, baby.
Yep, it's good to have you on the show.
Glad to be here.
Coach, can you give us a brief recap of last year's season?
Okay. So last year we wound up being 4-5. At Becton, being under 500 is definitely not acceptable. So we're definitely looking forward to improve on that this year. But we were very inexperienced. We only had 3 starters coming back on each side of the ball, and we turned what was, people were always saying we were supposed to win 2 or 3 games last year. We wound up winning 4, snuck into the state playoffs, and got a really good football team in round 1 at Newton, and lost in round 1.
Awesome. Who are some returning starters you'd expect to step into a leadership role this year?
Well, we have our 3 captains for sure. Our first is Christopher Zawadzki. He's a 3-year starter on the offensive defensive line. He gets after it, and you see it at practice every day. Our next one is Steele Grabowski. Would be a 3-year starter, but he got injured his sophomore year in the first play of his sophomore year, returning a kick. And then our quarterback, Jonathan Palsy, he started last year starting week 2, and we're looking for leadership from him as well.
Definitely. You think the leadership has been going good on our team?
Yeah, we have a pretty good senior class. They all work together. Different types of kids, different personalities that mix together. It doesn't really matter who you're hanging out with or anything outside of football. But when you show up for the game and you show up for practice, as long as we're all on the same page, it's all good.
Of course. Can you tell us about some promising newcomers to this year's squad?
Yeah. So we have, not even a real newcomer, but he started last year as a freshman. Everett Bell started, I think, starting week 2 or so at linebacker, middle linebacker. And, you get a little worried when you put a freshman out there, but he was able to handle himself, and we're looking for big things from him. And then up front, offensively and defensively, we have some linemen that we're looking for to really step up. And Christian Fagoso, who got a little bit of taste of varsity football last year. Adam Hassan, who's going to start at left tackle. He's really shown some promise there. Another junior, AJ Petrella at center, and another offensive lineman at Jaheim Gilks, who's probably going to be at right tackle. We also have other ones. Brandon Williams put on 35 pounds this past off season, kind of grew into his body. Patrick Lynch could be a sophomore backer, probably with Everett. So it's nice to have 2 sophomores that are there. They'll be there for 3 years, which is awesome. And then another Brandon Orio from a major knee injury. He's really worked hard, really put in the work, especially in the weight room. So we'll see who he's got when the lights shine bright.
Shawn, I'm going to interrupt. We have a question coming in from my counterpart, Kurt Valenti, and he wants to ask Coach Maher a question. He says, why is Becton always a successful program year in and year out? And Coach, before we get to that question, we got a bunch of, I'm going to guess maybe your players checking in. We've got a Chris, a Zach, an Anthony. We've got a yay, a yes, sir. I'm thinking those are some goat emojis I'm thinking of. But yeah, if you wouldn't mind maybe answering that question, Coach, thank you.
Yeah, those goat emojis are definitely for Shawn, because Shawn is the goat. Why are we successful? I think I don't know. I personally have a lot of help. I have the best assistant coaches around. I will put them up. I have support from the administration. I have a parents club headed by Melissa Dunn. She's been there for I think 6 or 7 years, and her kids have graduated already, so she's around to help. And I think it's just like a no-nonsense approach. I was talking to somebody during the summer, and somebody that was at the gym that I was at, an older coach in the area, and he met somebody at the gym, and he's like, his kid played for me, and I had to figure out who it was. But he said that, the kid comes home, he's like, certain amount of time to do these lifts, and we have a certain time to get this in and get that done, and this has to be done this way, this has to be done that way. And he's like, kind of like a slight militaristic. But you have to have the discipline. You have to have the kids the kids that want to do it, the kids that want to get after it. And if you give them a program to follow, they will follow it. And I think that's really why it works.
Definitely, I agree. What is your outlook for the season ahead?
Great question, Sean. Great question. We're definitely looking to improve on the last year's 4-5 record for sure. We're still taking the one game at a time approach. We got to see what we're getting from up front. We got these younger, inexperienced linemen. I 1,000% believe they can lead us to where we need to be. And then also on the defensive side, we have we have a whole bunch of new faces out there that are getting some varsity time. So one game at a time and improve record, and we'll see what happens.
How do you feel about our Garfield game coming up this Thursday?
I feel excited. I feel a little bit worried because they already have a game under their belts. They played last week, so they're in the game flow. We have not had any, obviously any games yet, but I feel okay. I'll feel a lot better once the ball's kicked off. Nervous from a couple of days, which is now until the actual kickoff. But they'll be ready and raring to go. And I know my assistant coaches have everybody in the right spots and performing their jobs to the best of their ability. Awesome.
And one last question is, who are you looking forward to the most on our schedule?
Ooh, great question. So this is one of the ones that I did sneak into the back door when you guys were talking. So this is coming. So what I would say, I'll call this game because Sea Caucus and Becton, we are literally like parallel to each other, right across the river. It's always been a big rivalry, and they're finally coming to us. I think we've been there for playing. So looking forward to Sea Caucus game. Been at staff over there with Charlie Voorhees and Jay Acera. So we'll see what happens. Week 3 though, we're just taking one at a time now.
Taking it one at a time. I like that. You're excited for Garfield?
100%. I'm sure you are too.
I'm excited too, Coach.
Sounds good. Let's not forget that Shawn Healy is also in the mix as a newcomer too. He's getting some varsity experience on Thursday. So let's give some love to Shawn Healy here.
Well, we got. I think this is a coach on your staff, right? Coach McGuire throwing a question at you, Sean. He said, "How do you feel about our game Thursday, Healy?" That's the bigger question.
I mean, I feel like it's definitely a winnable game. I think it starts with the offensive line and the defensive line, and once they step up, everyone else is going to step up with them.
All right, we got Coach Longo checking in. Great job, Sean. We got a lot of people. I want to make sure I give them at least who's checked in here. We have Diego, Coach Longo. We've got an Evan checking in. Someone who goes by Frosty on YouTube. Diego and Anthony, Zach Attack, Brennan, Chris. I don't want to miss anybody. Nico checked in. So you got a lot of love on your first show here. Very nice, very nice. And did I miss one there? I have. I'm scrolling through. I see another one that I went. A Carl Ross. I'm going to throw that all in. You got a good one here with Sean. Coach Maher talking about these underclassmen playing time. Sean is a senior battling these young players, and he works hard to make them better every day. That's great. Very nice. Sean, I'm going to embarrass you. We got to say your whole coaching staff speaks very highly of you, and we knew it from the first time we met you. So you've done a great job here tonight, Sean. Thanks so much. Anything else for Coach Sean before we let him go?
No, ma'am. Thank you for the interview, Coach. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Anytime, bud.
Good luck this week. We'll be following up with you for sure.
And tomorrow night, we make our official Garfield Becton pick on All In. So make sure you're tuning in on that. We cannot give away our pick tonight, but that'll be our pick. That is the game on the agenda tomorrow.
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
All right, got Coach Farina checking in also, singing your praises, Sean. Awesome kid. So thanks, guys. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Coach. Sean, we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Sounds good. Thank you for coming, Coach.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.